Hi everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we are making 西安羊肉泡馍. Xi'an is the capital city of Shaanxi Province. It is also the starting point of the Silk Road. The food there always reflects its rich and cultural heritage. 羊肉 is lamb. Mo is a slightly leavened bread. Pao is describing the cooking method, how they steep or soak the crumbled bread into the flavorful lamb soup. I will admit that this is a complicated and time-consuming recipe, but it's definitely worth it. I will go through all the little details to show you how to make it from scratch. The video is a bit long. Please stick with me and let's dive deep into Northwest Chinese cuisine. We're going to start with the broth. This is the soul of 羊肉泡馍. I'm making a lamb version today. If you don't like lamb flavor, you can use the same recipe but switch it to beef. 牛肉泡馍 is also popular in Xi'an. What I have here is a big piece of lamb meat, about 1.5 pounds. You will also need 2 to 3 pounds of lamb bones, but I couldn't get enough today, so I used some lamb shank, which has the meat and bone together. I have soaked them in clean water and left it in the fridge overnight. That is why the water looks bloody red. Lamb is naturally pungent and bold in flavor. Soaking it is an easy way to moderate the taste. Of course, if you like it strong, you don't need to soak it. Put the lamb meat and the bones directly into a new clean pot that is filled with water. Turn the heat to high and bring this to a simmer. I didn't cover the lid here because the pot is almost full. If the lid is on, it will overflow. It will take about 10 to 12 minutes for it to come to a simmer, so you have plenty of time to prepare the spice pack. 1 tablespoon of fennel seed, 1 tablespoon of Sichuan peppercorns, 3 pieces of bay leaves, 2 pieces of dried red chilies, 6 slices of ginger, a handful of scallions. Now the water is simmering. Turn the heat to low. You will see some foamy scum floating on the top. Use a fine sieve to skim that. It has a gamey aftertaste, which does affect the flavor negatively. It is not pretty looking and it can mess up the presentation. Usually I will discard this water and start a new pot, but because I soaked the meat and the bone overnight, I'm going to keep it. Once the scum is cleaned, you can add the spice pack. Keep the heat at low, put on the lid, and let it simmer for 1 hour. Did you notice that I didn't use Chinese cooking wine for the broth? Normally I will, but this actually is a Muslim recipe, so using any alcohol would not be authentic. 1 hour later, we will take out the meat first because we don't want it to be super tender. Otherwise, you can't slice it thinly, it will just fall apart. Let it chill in the fridge for a few hours. Continue to simmer the bone for another hour and the broth will be done. Next, let's talk about 坨坨馍. It's a tough flatbread that you can barely chew with your teeth. I know it doesn't sound good already. Don't worry, let me tell you the legend about this dish. Zhao Kuang-yin, the founding emperor of Song Dynasty, was poor and homeless before he became the emperor. One day he was so hungry and only had 2 pieces of bread left, which are dry and tough. It just so happened there was a mutton soup restaurant on the side of the road. The restaurant owner saw him pitiful and gave him a bowl of lamb soup. Zhao Kuang-yin broke the bread into little pieces and soaked it in that soup. It was like the most delicious meal he has ever had. After Zhao Kuang-yin became the emperor, he went back to the little restaurant and asked the cook to make the soup for him again. After the meal, he gave the owner a lot of money as a return, which spread out the name of this dish. To this day, the recipe has received lots of improvements and variations compared to the legend. We don't put old and dried bread into soup anymore. We make a chewy bread on purpose. Dissolve half teaspoon of alkaline powder into 240 grams of water. Alkaline powder is called 食用碱 in Chinese. It makes the bread a little bit chewier. It enhances the Maillard reaction, which brings out the natural fragrance of the wheat. However, it is optional and the dish will still turn out delicious even if you omit it. It is not an easy ingredient that everybody has access to, but you can make a replacement by following the steps on the screen. I know that is a lot of information. You can pause and read it. Combine the alkali solution with 450 grams of all-purpose flour. Get your spatula to give it a nice premix. You can knead the dough by hand for 8 to 10 minutes until it is smooth and elastic. If you have a KitchenAid, use the hook attachment, let it run on low speed for 10 minutes. While the machine is running, we will quickly make a tiny yeast dough. Dissolve 1.5 grams of instant yeast into 25 grams of water. Add it into 45 grams of all-purpose flour. Mix and form it into a small little ball. Cover it and we will let it proof for 1 hour. Let's check the KitchenAid. That looks good. Turn it off. Check the consistency of the dough. It should be smooth and non-stick. You just cover it and let it sit for 1 hour as well. We made 2 types of dough. The big one has alkaline powder but has no yeast, so it will not rise. We let it sit for 1 hour is to relax the gluten, so it will be easier to work with later. The small yeast dough will be fully rised. Then we will combine both of them together. By doing that, we can make sure the dough is slightly leavened. That way, the bread can absorb the flavor of the broth without being soggy. We do not want a fluffy bread that has so many bubbles because it will definitely turn mushy if you soak it into the soup. 1 hour later, throw the small yeast dough into the KitchenAid. Let it run at low speed for 10 minutes to mix them together. Keep an eye on it because you will have to stop it a few times to help to redistribute the dough. Once that is done, take the dough out of the mixing bowl. Divide it into 8 even pieces. Knead each one into a round, smooth ball. Cover them and let them rest for 10 minutes to relax the gluten. Take one piece, roll it with a rolling pin. The diameter should be 5 to 6 inches across. If you feel the resistance while rolling and it's quite hard to stretch it, you can always let it rest for another 10 minutes and roll it again. Next, we will toast the bread. I'm using a cast iron skillet. Turn the heat to medium and heat the pan a little bit. Place your bread in. Keep spinning the bread so they can be cooked evenly. Each side would take 2 to 3 minutes. You just go by the color. Once you see that one side has those charred marks, you can flip it and cook the other side. It is okay if the bread is undercooked, because we will cook it again in the lamb soup. Now I have finished all the bread. Just cover them with a lightly damped towel and let them cool. The lamb broth and the flatbread are the foundation of this recipe. Based on that, we will serve this dish with different sides and toppings to elevate the flavor, in which the sweet preserved garlic plays the principal role. The garlic fragrance is very gentle, it's not spicy or pungent at all. Instead, it's sweet and sour, very delicious that I often snack on it. 羊肉泡馍 is rich and filling. Trust me, you definitely want a little bit crunchy pickles to balance the heaviness. I don't know where to buy it though, because the Asian grocery stores around where I live don't carry it. But you can use other types of pickles, such as the Japanese sushi ginger. It's also sweet and sour. Pickled olive from the jar is not as sweet, but it does a great job at balancing the heaviness. I understand that sushi ginger and pickled olive are not authentic, but they work and they're easy to get. If you really want to try the traditional style, I do have a demo video on how to make it yourself. I'll link the recipe in the description. You can check it out later. Besides the sweet preserved garlic, you will also need some other ingredients. Soak some wood ear mushroom, dried lily, and mung bean noodles in water for 1 hour until they are rehydrated. Once they are nice and soft, drain them all. If your wood ear mushrooms are big, you can go ahead and rip them into 1 inch by 1 inch size. Drain the mung bean noodles as well. I will cut them shorter with a pair of scissors because I don't like super long noodles. These 3 are typical Chinese dried ingredients and could be a bit hard to find. Asian grocery stores will be the best bet to look for. I also put the links in the description if you want to buy them online. Besides that, I prepared some diced cilantro and scallion. If you like spicy food, you can also use some chili paste. This is the brand that I like, but you can use your favorite chili sauce. Take the lamb meat out of the fridge. Slice it thinly. The broth should be done by now. You just take out the bones and sift out all the impurities. This is the meat that I took off from the shank. Don't waste it. Okay, we have everything ready and let's assemble the soup. When you order this meal in a specialized泡馍restaurant, they will give you a big soup bowl, a number, and some flatbread. The amount of the flatbread depends on your appetite. Then you can take your time to break the bread into small little pieces. The size should be like the soybean size. That is perfect. Don't go too big, otherwise it takes too long to cook. I'm a thin eater. I usually use 1.5 bread. But if you have a big appetite, you can put 2 or 3. The bread is quite dense. It will take some time and strength to finish. The restaurants do serve the bread in small little pieces, but those are cut by the machine. The edge is straight and clean. The locals do prefer to tear it by hand to get that jagged appearance, which will help to catch more flavors from the broth. There is a saying that the cook will judge if you are a true eater or not by the way you break your bread. Once you are done, you're supposed to mark your bowl with the number that they gave you and pass the bowl back to the chef and they will cook it for you. In the restaurant, 羊肉泡馍 is always cooked in a single portion because you already touched your bread and broke it into the size you like. You don't want it to be mixed with others. But if you're a family and you're comfortable with each other, then it won't be a problem. Take a few slices of the lamb meat and put it in the bowl. Add a handful of mung bean noodles, along with a little bit of the wood ear mushroom and some daylily. That is 1 portion. This recipe should be enough to serve for 4 to 5 people. Turn the heat to high. Add 2 cups of the broth into the wok. Once this comes to a boil, you can throw in the full bowl of ingredients that we just prepared. keep cooking for a few minutes. We didn't use any salt before, so now it is the time to add it. Give it a taste and you are done. Pour the soup into a serving bowl. Put the meat on the top for presentation. Serve the sweet preserved garlic on the side. Sprinkle a little more scallion and cilantro as garnish. Top a little bit of the chili paste. This is like the soul-warming food to me. Those little crumbled bread pieces are doused into the soup. Super flavorful, but they kept their texture and they're not mushy at all. The broth is thick and creamy. All that work is so worth it. I hope you give this a try soon. If you did, leave me a comment and let me know how it goes. As always, don't forget to check the description where you can find all the links, including the printable recipe, the related videos, the purchase link for special ingredients, and the tools that I have used in this video. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!